Country News, Hank Williams. Did you know that Hank Williams was born on January 1, 1923 in Alabama, United States? Hiram Hank Williams, widely considered country music's first superstar. Of rural origin, the third child of Lon and Lily Williams, he grew up in a home that never had much money. His father worked as a logger before entering the Veterans Administration Hospital when young Hank was just 6 years old. Father and son rarely saw each other over the next decade, and Williams' mother, who ran boarding houses, moved the family to Greenville and later to Montgomery, Alabama. His childhood was also marked by his spinal condition, spina bifida, which set him apart from other children his age and fostered a sense of separation from the world around him. The world with which he seemed to identify most were the musical sounds that came from the radio and emanated from church choirs. With quick study, Williams learned to play folk, country, and, thanks to an African-American busker named Rufus Payne, blues. When he moved with his mother to Montgomery in 1937, Williams' musical career was already in motion. Williams first picked up the guitar at the age of 8 and was just 13 when he made his radio debut. A year later, he was participating in talent shows and had his own band, Hank Williams and his Drifting Cowboys. His mother, Lily, was fully supportive of Williams' musical aspirations. She took his son and his band to shows all over South Alabama. In the early 1940s, he caught the attention of Nashville music executives. But alongside Williams' obvious talents as a singer and songwriter was a growing dependence on alcohol, which he had begun abusing to alleviate his sometimes excruciating back pain. Williams' personal life took a major turn in 1943 when he met Audrey Mae Shepherd, who was the mother of a young daughter and had just left a difficult marriage. Under Williams' direction, Shepherd began playing bass and performing in her band. Williams and Shepherd married in 1944. They had a son together, Hank Williams Jr., on May 26, 1949. Shepherd, it seems, was extremely eager to make a mark in show business and, despite her obviously limited talent, she pressured her husband to let her sing. Additionally, his relationship with Williams' mother proved complicated. The two were often rivals for Williams' time and attention. In 1946, Williams traveled to Nashville to meet with music publisher Fred Rose and the Acuff Rose Publications Company. What began with Williams writing material for singer Molly O'Day eventually gave way to a record deal with the newly formed MGM label. A year after his first meeting with Rose, Williams scored his first hit, Move It On Over. In April 1948, he scored a second Billboard hit with Honky Tonkin'. But along with this initial success came more erratic behavior from Williams, who often appeared drunk at live performances. For a time, her relationship with Fred Rose deteriorated, but the two were able to patch things up, paving the way for Williams to become a regular on the Louisiana Hayride, a regular Saturday night performance hosted by a station radio station in Shreveport. The performances greatly increased Williams' name recognition, but he was still missing a #1 hit. That all changed in 1949 with the release of Lovesick Blues, a throwaway rendition of an old tune he had recorded on tape at the end of a recording session. The song resonated with music fans, as well as executives at the Grand Ole Opry in Nashville, who invited Williams to perform. In ways that must have seemed unimaginable to this country boy, Williams' life changed quickly. His stardom put money in his pocket and gave him the kind of creative freedom that artists crave. Over the next few years, he produced other big hits, including Cold, Cold Heart, Your Cheatin' Heart, Hey Good Lookin', Lost Highway, and I'll Never Get Out Of This World Alive. He also wrote several religious songs under the pseudonym Luke the Drifter. As the titles of some of Williams' songs suggest, heartbreak and confusion were never so far from his life. As his success deepened, so did Williams' dependence on alcohol and morphine. The Opry eventually fired him, and in 1952, he and Shepherd divorced. His physical appearance also decreased. His hair began to fall out and he gained 30 extra pounds. In late 1951, he suffered a minor heart attack while visiting his sister in Florida. Just over a year later, on December 30th, 1952, Williams, newly married to a younger woman named Billie Jean, left his mother's home in Montgomery for Charlestown, West Virginia. Drunk and abusing morphine, he collapsed in a hotel room in Knoxville, Tennessee. They called a doctor to examine him. Despite his physical failings, Williams was cleared to travel more. On New Year's Day 1953, he sat in the back of his light blue 1952 Cadillac. As his driver, college student Charles Carr, headed toward a concert hall in Canton, Ohio, his health Williams got worse. Finally, after not hearing from the singer for 2 hours straight, the driver stopped the car in Oak Hill, West Virginia, at 5:30 in the morning. Williams was pronounced dead a short time later. However, his death did not spell the end of his stardom. In fact, one could argue that his early death only added to the legend of him. Had Williams lived, it's not entirely certain that the Nashville music community, so eager to shed his mountain roots, would have continued to embrace Williams' music. In the years since his death, Williams' impact has only grown, with artists as varied as Perry Como, Dinah Washington, Norah Jones, and Bob Dylan covering his work. Williams was among the first class of artists inducted into the Country Music Hall of Fame in 1961, and in 2010, the Pulitzer Board awarded him a special citation for his songwriting. His life and career were the subject of I Saw the Light, a 2015 biographical film starring Tom Hiddleston as Williams and Elizabeth Olsen as his first wife, Audrey. His life and his music received a new look in 2019 with Ken Burns' 16-hour documentary Country Music, which prominently featured the icon in an episode titled The Hillbilly Shakespeare. Williams remains a beloved, if tragic, figure in country music, and his work continues to influence musicians to this day. Thank you very much, Williams, for your great contribution to country music.